Hudson County View live at Uncut, Chiaravalloti. So today, obviously it's Holy Thursday and it's April Fool's Day, but in Hudson, of course, the only place in New Jersey, I would say, where the fact is more relevant and more interesting than the fiction. So with that said, we're going to talk a little bit about the latest and greatest, as we do every week. And first of all, we're going to chat about what's happened last night between the Jersey City Board of Education and the City Council. Obviously, they met at the Hank Gallo Community Center part of Lincoln Park, and at the county-owned facility, the Wi-Fi didn't cooperate the way that a lot of people would have preferred. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about that. We're also going to talk about the 31st Legislative District, as we have for many weeks in a row here. Specifically, Assemblyman Nick Chiaravalloti is going to be running off the line against William Sampson IV, and that is the preferred pick of Bayonne Mayor Jimmy Davis. So obviously, we are going to get into the weeds there. We're also going to be speaking about a little bit in Hoboken, and we're also going to be joined by Jersey City Ward A Councilwoman Denise Ridley. So all that and maybe even a little more. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just one path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport, live like you want.
Hudson County View live at Uncut, Chiaravalloti, and as I just mentioned a few moments ago, today I'm joined with Jersey City Ward A Councilwoman Denise Ridley. Councilwoman, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So let's talk a little bit about last night. Unfortunately, anyone who wasn't there really did get a clear picture of what happened at this joint meeting between the Board of Ed and the City Council. Obviously, school funding been a topic for many years. And, things are starting to come to a head. The budgets are getting closer and closer to $1 billion. The state cuts are getting closer and closer to $100 billion, and so on and so forth. But just tell us about the discussion between the trustees and the council members and how you think that conversation ended.
I think it ended on a really good note. It's been a long time coming. It's a meeting that should have happened years ago at this point. And I think that everybody that was at the table yesterday really cares about the kids. They understand that at this point, as I said, at the last council meeting, we shouldn't be arguing with each other, but we need to band together and figure out how we're going to get the money for the kids and what we need to do at the state level to change the way that they're perceiving Jersey City and our kids and the money that they're taking away from our kids. So last night really felt good. It was nice to be able to sit down with the board trustees and for all of us to be on the same page and say we're going to try our best to figure this out.
So what do you think are the next steps? Is there any definitive plans yet?
Yes, we actually decided to form some subcommittees so that we can look at specific things. So we're forming 3 subcommittees, and we will divide it up with 3 members of the council on each committee, 3 members of the board on each committee, so that everybody's involved. And we're going to work from there. So one of the committees is legislative, another one is finance, and another one is operations. So that's where we decided to start, and we'll start having those committee meetings. We have another meeting planned for early May to get back together, all together again. And we just want to keep the lines of communication open and work on this problem together.
Can you imagine the committees would be announced in May at that meeting or before that?
I imagine we would announce those in May. We should have, those committees set by that time, so.
All right, well, hopefully the internet's a little more cooperative then, but...
I hope so.
But be that as it may, let's talk on this topic a little further. So last week when you were on the city council, at the council meeting, I should say, the Liberty Science Center High School vote came up. You voted yes. After a long one, 6 hours or so. But nonetheless, the point is, you mentioned that you felt like the city gets dumped on a lot when we're talking about school funding, and you provided a pretty long comment prior to your vote. So just for those that may have missed it, just why did you think that project should move forward, and just to articulate what you thought was the reasoning there?
My main reason was parents, they want options. They want options. They want schools that are specialized at times. And they just want to be able to choose. So I think if we have an opportunity to give parents another choice, that we should definitely do that. Now, does that mean neglect our public school kids? Absolutely not. So while we are trying to find other avenues and we're embracing other avenues of education, we still have a job to do with our public schools. And I think that that's why it was important for us to meet last night, because we can't go off into this new project and not take care of our public schools. So my main reasoning for voting the way I did was because the parents, they want more options. And we have those emails and those calls from parents asking for more options. And yes, let's get together and work on our public schools. That's something that the council has tried to do in the past. Now the board has a different makeup, different leadership, and we're doing that. So, it's a long time coming, and it might be a little delayed, and this is a small start, but we're starting.
Okay, so you made the point of everyone coming together. Let's tackle Trenton as a team, a group effort. So, what do you think that looks like going forward?
For me, that looks like some of what we did last night was get some clarity, because I think a lot of people assume that the council understands the school budget and how the funding works and why they're missing funding. But there were a lot of things that a lot of us didn't understand. We're not familiar with that state formula. I've sat on a school board, but that's a Catholic school board, totally different set of arrangements. So those are the things that we needed to understand. And by sitting together, we were able to get that clarity. So now we can see where we can fill in.
Very good. And was specific question I had about the payroll tax. Is there any further clarity on what could be certified at this time?
I do not have an exact number. My understanding of the payroll tax is that the school is, we've made that commitment to give them $65 million each year. So this year's number, I do not know what that is exactly, but my understanding is that the past 2 years we have met that number.
All right, very good, Councilwoman. We're going to take a quick break from our sponsors, but don't worry, we'll be right back.
Cutting-edge surgical care is right here in Secaucus.
Robotic surgery is safer.
Shorter hospital stays.
Smaller abdominal incisions, the size of an M&M. Here at Hudson Regional, we provide world-class robotic surgical care.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Hudson County View Live and Uncut. John Arhitis, and I'm still with Jersey City Ward 8 Councilwoman Denise Ridley. So we've heard from the school board trustees, and last thing on this topic, we've heard from them talking about, we think some businesses are deficient on their payroll tax payments. We want to see your books. And, I know a resolution was passed. They're claiming they haven't got the paperwork yet, but conversely, they haven't opened up their books to you yet either, correct?
That is correct. We had a presentation last night by the board president, Musa Ali, where he did provide graphs and a few numbers, but we have not officially dove into their budget, and I don't really understand at this point what the funding is being spent on, what their large line items are, so we haven't gotten to that point, no.
All right, gotcha. So let's get into my favorite, the nitty-gritty politics.
Okay.
So, a little more than a year ago, February of 2020, you were with the mayor, and you said you were running for re-election, so that's pretty early. So
Yeah.
why were you so confident? How were you so sure that this is what you wanted to do for another 4 years?
You know what it is? It seems like 4 years is a long time, but when you become the council person, there's no handbook, nobody leaves anything for you, so you're starting from scratch. So that first year, you're getting the hang of things, then you're learning how to communicate with different departments, how to write ordinances, and 4 years goes by really quickly. Like, we've been able to lay the groundwork for a lot of good things in Ward A in those 4 years. There's a lot of new development coming. I started the Bayfront Redevelopment Advisory Board. I'm the chairwoman of that. I'm also a commissioner on JCRA. So there are a lot of things that we've started that I want to see move forward more and lay more groundwork for before I, step back. So I think it's important to have that continuity for those 8 years.
All right, and to that end, is there any projects that you'd like to spearhead, you'd like to lead forward, that maybe you haven't got a chance to get going yet?
Well, right now we're working over at University Place, which is across the street from Bayfront, down near Westside and Stegman in the NJCU area. We're working to get a supermarket there. We're working on a deal to get a shop right there. So that is what's currently on my radar to move forward, especially in these times during a pandemic. Residents need places where they can walk to and access food. And any new food options in especially areas that they consider quote unquote food desert is important. So I think the community really needs that, really wants that, and we need those other options.
Now, the real deep insider baseball, I mentioned at the top of the program, and I'm sure you've been following at home, what's going on in the 31st Legislative District. Of course, your ward is a part of that. And, you know firsthand what the power politics of that district can be like, right?
I've been there.
Yeah. So, when you heard this whole situation with the mayor kind of just unceremoniously getting rid of the assemblyman and the assemblyman coming back now and saying, I'm fighting this till the bitter end, what's your read on that situation? What's your take when you're looking at it from afar?
I understand the feeling that, people sometimes get a feeling like they've been pushed out and not wanting to be pushed out. So, I'm all for democracy, and I say, if you want to run. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's anything bad with the assemblyman saying that he's going to run anyway. If this is what he believes in and he wants to represent the people, then he should run. I've had the opportunity to meet the new gentleman that's going to be on the line, and I think he's a great person as well. And I think that's what makes this whole process good and great, because you have the opportunity to choose, and there's nothing wrong with that.
So you have no preference whoever should come out on top there?
No.
Okay.
Let the best man win.
All right, fair enough then. That's the way it should be, or it used to be. But nonetheless, so when we're talking about that, just, anything in particular that you're actually working with in the 31st, with your state legislators, perhaps with Assemblywoman McKnight. Well, actually, let's talk about the CCRB. I think that's the perfect segue. So I know you and Councilman Solomon have been on this for months. The police unions have, held this up a little bit, but could you tell us what's happening and where you're at and where you hope to be, for the coming month or two?
Well, what I hope to do is to have something on the agenda for next meeting. What the residents are looking for is something that says the city is committed to forming a CCRB with subpoena power once everything officially passes at the state level. And I don't think there's anything wrong with them looking for that confirmation from us. So what I would like to put on the next agenda is something saying just that, and saying that we are adhering to the current form of the bill, and any additional changes we have to make once the state passes, we will do that. But right now, I believe that the biggest issue amongst council people, police unions, community is figuring out the details of that. And some people feel like this current version of the ordinance has too much meat, which I understand. They want to wait to see what the state does. But I think what they're looking for, the residents, is our commitment. So I think that we can all make that commitment and say that whether we outline a whole board right now or not. I think that the commitment is important, that this is something that we're committed to doing.
Very good, Councilwoman. Thanks for detailing that. And anything else before we call it a day?
No. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. Jersey City Ward 8 Councilwoman Denise Ridley. We're going to take one more commercial break here. We'll be right back.
Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, located right off of NJ 440 North. Across the Hudson Mall is your one-stop for all your automotive needs. Check out Ford's latest models like the 2020 Ford Fusion with its stylish looks and hybrid options, or the unparalleled high-performance 2020 Ford Mustang. The 2020 Ford F-150 Raptor is ready for those rugged off-road terrains with trail control. Need a mid-sized truck for your towing and hauling? The 2020 Ford Ranger will deliver. The 2020 Ford Escape is a luxury SUV that was made for comfort and adventure on the go. Returning is Ford's legendary Bronco, which takes you back to the true meaning of off-roading. They are now available for pre-order in our showroom or on our website. Let us help you find your next vehicle. Stevens Jersey City Ford, 201-432-7272.
Hudson County View, live at Uncut. Chiaravalloti. So also got some interesting news out of the Jersey City Municipal Court this week. First of all, Mayor Stephen Fulop has nominated a new chief municipal judge, and that's Robbie Eade. So congratulations to him, but the process isn't over just yet. You know, we do have to get confirmation from that Jersey City Council, but I don't think I'm being too bold in saying that all of these appointments will come through. And I say all because today the mayor also came out and nominated two new judges. That's Rahat Chatha and Paul Scalia. And on top of that, we will probably see a part-time judge, Karen DeSoto, get a full-time nomination. And this is all because of the Hudson County Superior Court nominations of Carlo Abad, who is the current, soon-to-be former, it looks like, chief municipal judge in Jersey City, as well as Margaret Marley, also heading to the county Superior Court. So let's talk a little bit about the news that just came out this morning. And we heard from the mayor, and he said, the appointment of our two esteemed judges to Superior Court speaks to the fact that we have only the best judges in our courts, and I know these new judges will expand upon these efforts to cultivate a court system the community can trust. Jersey City is one of the busiest municipal court vicinages in New Jersey, and these three new judges bring with them a tremendous wealth of knowledge and experience to help best serve the local community with a diverse and fair judicial system. So, in case you may not be familiar with these two new nominees, so we have Rahat Chatha, and she's an attorney that serves as a commissioner of the Jersey City Municipal Utilities Authority. And Paul Scalia has actually been an assistant municipal prosecutor for a full 20 years. He started working in Jersey City in 2001, and his appointment has actually been applauded by his boss, Chief Municipal Prosecutor Jake Hudnut. He says, these nominees will ensure that Jersey City continues to have the most problem-solving, public safety-focused municipal courthouse in New Jersey. Additionally, AP Scalia has been among our most open-minded prosecutors, willing to consider both sides of an argument, which is the most important quality of an effective jurist. So with that, let's talk a little bit about Raby. He's actually the first Egyptian-American judge in Jersey City history. He got appointed to that post back in 2014, relatively early in Mayor Fulop's first term, of course. And He said on Tuesday that I have no doubt that Judge Eads' tenacity and leadership skills will continue to lead our court system with policies outlined around fairness and equality. And expectedly, the judge is very excited about this opportunity. He said, I'm extremely honored and excited to be appointed Chief Judge. I look forward to building upon her successful operations as one of the most dynamic courts in the state, with many specialty courts handling complex issues, including mental health, domestic violence, and community court. And the good thing about this council vote is, assuming that they all go through, again, I don't feel too bold in saying that they will go through without any issues here, that these appointments will all be effective immediately. The next Jersey City Council meeting is on April 15th. So with that, I think we're just going to keep on going right through before we head to another break. So I want to talk about something that came out last night. We're talking about the Hoboken Policing Policy Task Force, and I think this is relevant given we were just speaking with the Councilwoman here about civilian complaint review boards before she departed. So basically, there was a survey in September, you may recall, where Hoboken residents were asked if they wanted a civilian complaint review board, and 74% of respondents, there was just under 2,100 of them, 99% of which lived in the city, according to this task force. And they're calling for the CCRB, at least to look into the possibility of implementing it, I guess I should say. So it's a little bit complex, but I guess basically we could break it down here. A majority of respondents, 74%, feel it would be a good idea for the city of Hoboken to institute a public safety review board, which is essentially the same thing as a CCRB, to provide oversight of hiring practices and complaints. So they also broke it down by open-ended comments, and what I mean by that was 40% of comments addressed a negative experience and advocated for reform. 36% of comments were supportive or described a positive interaction with the Hoboken Police Department, while 24% of comments suggested specific improvements but did call for a review board. And then some criticisms there included not wearing face masks during the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as too much emphasis on car patrols as opposed to patrolling on foot. Also, there was some positive takeaways as well from members of the public. They talked about having a very open and transparent department. They were very happy with programs like Coffee for a Cop, and they also liked Chief Kenneth Ferrante's consistent Twitter updates throughout the week. So I had a chance to talk to the chief at length about this. He seems a little apprehensive, but let's dig in. This survey was taken in the fall of 2020. I felt most civilians, having watched the protest against excessive force in wake of the death of George Floyd, along with several other highly volatile situations involving bad policing that were all over mainstream media and social media, would answer that question as wanting civilian review boards. There are several things that need to be looked at: what the NJ Supreme Court decides on the authority of these boards, would there be another change of the Attorney General guidelines on internal affairs, who would qualify for these positions, who would be making the appointments, and who does a background check on them, as well as what ultimate authority would these boards have. So again, a lot of these questions have come up in Jersey City, and we've touched on them in, I think, pretty extensive detail. So with all that being said, I think the takeaway is we have to see what happens in Trenton. Early last month already, in March, we saw a Assembly committee advance Assemblywoman McKnight's bill, but we're still waiting on the full vote in the Assembly. We'll have to see a vote out of Senate committee, a full vote on the Senate, and then of course Governor Murphy will have the pen in his hands to whether sign into law or veto. So we're a long ways off most likely, but certainly this is a topic that continues to gain steam and continues to remain relevant throughout Hudson County and of course all of New Jersey. With that, we're going to take one more break from our sponsors. Be right back.
Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to be prepared for your emergency.
We promise to provide world-class robotic surgical care.
We promise to treat you like family.
To provide accurate diagnostic care.
To provide the most innovative orthopedic care at your doorsteps.
We promise to treat your baby like our own.
To never stop investing in the best of spinal care.
To be with you every step of the way.
Here at Hudson Regional Hospital, we promise to take care of our community.
A brand new truck isn't just a brand new truck when it's tough enough to have best-in-class available payload and smart enough to know that a cab can also be an office. A truck equipped with best-in-class available towing that asks, why can't all that power more than just this truck? No, your brand new truck isn't just a brand new truck when it's the all-new F-150. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Hudson County View, live and uncut, Chiaravalloti. So a topic, again, that we've discussed for several weeks in a row now is what's going on in the 31st Legislative District, specifically that assembly seat out of the Peninsula City, Bayonne. So just a very brief recap. As you know, at the end of February, there was a falling out between the Assemblyman Nick Chiaravalloti, who's also the New Jersey Assembly Majority Whip, and Bayonne Mayor Jimmy Davis. We still don't know exactly what happened, what exactly caused this, spurned this, but what we do know is that Chiaravalloti will not be running with support of the Hudson County Democratic Organization. Instead, that distinction goes to William Sampson IV. Nonetheless, despite the odds being against him, Chiaravalloti was going to be running off the line, and he confirmed as much on Tuesday. So this is what he said. I'm in public service because I love my community, and I am filing my petitions to seek re-election to the Assembly because I want to continue to make Bayonne, Jersey City, and Hudson County an even greater place to work and live. He's a three-term legislator. He's seeking his fourth term, and he's going against Sampson, as I said. He's a 32-year-old crane operator, longshoreman, and first-time candidate for office who has a spotty voting record, as the New Jersey Globe previously reported, and as we highlighted as well. Now, if you ask Chiaravalloti, he says his track record stands against anyone, including Sampson, and he continued that from securing funding for Bayonne schools, the walkway project, and the pedestrian bridge over 440, to raising the minimum wage, establishing the Community College Opportunity Grant Program, revising civil asset forfeiture procedures, providing pre-K for all, and standing up for our senior citizens and immigrant brothers and sisters. I am proud of the pragmatic, progressive record of results we have achieved. As some have noted, including myself, this is going to have very strong implications in 2022. Don't forget the Bayonne municipal elections, where the mayor and 5 council seats are up for grabs. Mayor Jimmy Davis looked like he was going to cruise into a third term, but now remains up in the air. If the Assemblyman pulls this off, he's going to have significant clout, and I don't think he's going to be too thrilled with the prospect of Jimmy Davis remaining in office. And even if he loses and just remains competitive, there's still going to be anti-votes there, and there's certainly going to be a desire to run an opposition candidate. So this has a lot riding on it, again, as has been noted by many, including myself. So that's something to keep an eye on. And just a couple things to briefly touch on. Just wanted to offer condolences to former Hudson County surrogate Joe Ridley. He passed away on Friday. We heard the news from State Senator and North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco. So certainly, again, sympathies and deepest condolences to his family. And we also want to acknowledge Jeanette Pena. She is now the former Union City Board of Education president. She actually was appointed in 2003, had been president since 2008, and yesterday was her last day on the board. She revealed this in a letter to State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack on March 25th. And just quickly, she said, "It has been an honor and privilege to serve the students and families of Union City for the past 18 years. This experience has afforded me a unique opportunity with an exemplary team of administrators, educators, and staff members that has contributed to my personal growth and understanding of what excellence in education embodies." Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you tuning in. Everyone have a great weekend and have a great holiday if you're celebrating. We'll see you next week.